Still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable, still Poddable. Oh yeah! Still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable, still Poddable. Banner 19.
Beat Rob, Jim, Packaging King.
Still Poddable, still Poddable.
The Caesar on the court to get another ring.
Still Poddable, still Poddable.
Everybody in the chat now sing.
Still Poddable, still Poddable. Still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable, still Poddable. Oh yeah!
Shut your ass up, man.
Daddy's always halfway there.
Welcome back to Still Poddable, the best Celtics podcast on Al Gore's GD Internet. I am Sam Jam Packard, joined by producer Sean Gauthier. And we are coming to you live after the Celtics take down the Pistons 130-120. It was a game that Jason Tatum didn't play. I don't think he's actually hurt. I more think that they have 5 games in 7 nights, and they begged Jason. They said, Jason, there's no way you were playing against the Detroit Pistons, and it really didn't matter. Although, it would have been nice to have Jason Tatum out there, but I thought Jaylen Brown did a fantastic job, especially in the first half, kind of taking over as that lead scorer role. He had many assists. I'm slowly pulling up the box score right now, but let me tell you, nine assists. And I thought he was pretty much in control. Had most of his points in the first half, did a pretty solid job just distributing the basketball, driving, kicking, finding guys shooting. The game got a little closer than you would have liked. Celtics are up by 20, I think, early in the fourth quarter. I guess you got to give credit to the Pistons for fighting back. They shot a ridiculous percentage from 3, specifically Malik Beasley, just knocking down threes left and right, some absolutely ridiculous ones to kind of get the Pistons back in this game. I think they went on a 17-3 run at one point. Celtics fought back. Then the Pistons went on a 9-point run. I think cut the game to 5 points, closed down the stretch. But then down the stretch, you just kind of had big plays from Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Kristaps Porzingis, and Sam Hauser. They all contributed to the win. I thought they did a very solid job. It was nice to see them going to Kristaps down the stretch. He had, I think, his best game of the season so far. Got to the free throw line 8 times, knocked down 3 threes. They definitely kind of worked the matchup, him going down the post. Sam Hauser had an amazing stretch. He had 20 points in this game, Peyton Pritchard with 19. And then Derek White just made some winning plays for them to kind of to finish out this game and get a solid 10-point victory against the Pistons. Now, Sean, I know you're a busy man. You didn't get to necessarily see all of this game, but you're here joining us for post game. Thoughts of the finish, or any questions I can answer for you, elaborate on?
Yeah, first thing definitely has to be in our group chat. I saw you and Jay King talking about Sam Hauser. What was the deal with Sam Hauser early in this one?
Sam Hauser, you mean the 2-point daddy? You mean the 2-point daddy himself, who went from a little pull-up jumper, nice little moment, knocked it down. Drew Carter immediately hit it with the biscuit in the basket. I love chat, was immediately following up with a drink. So I'm sure we had some overserved members of chat today. That was, as we probably do every night, knowing chat like I hope I do. And then right after that, what does Sam Hauser do? He pumps from the 3-point corner, hard closeout, drives, hits him with a Euro step, another 2-point shot. I don't know what the total is this year, but if we're just going on the eye test alone, the feel test, he has become a 2-point daddy. After that, he basically caught on fire, knocked down 2 huge threes. It was one of the better games we've seen from Hauser. He has had 5 threes on the night, but just a solid performance. But the thing that it was shocking to me, absolutely shocking to me, is that Jay King was the one who initiated this and admitted that Sam Hauser is a 2-point daddy. And so I don't know if I was allowed to share that with Chad. I did. I don't know if Jay King ever wants anyone to ever see him admit that he might have been wrong, although I don't think he would say he was wrong.
Say he was wrong.
He wouldn't say that whatsoever. But, it felt good in the moment to, kind of have, this was that exact play with the Euro step is what I was talking about. It was what made me make this kind of bold prediction, is that he's not just a 3-point shooter. He's added a little bit of his game where he can attack that closeout. I didn't think he was necessarily going to be doing Euro steps, but he did that. He has a little bit more of a game inside the paint. And I just thought he was very solid tonight in a game there. No Drew Holiday and no Jason Tatum.
Did Nimi just get a DMP CD in this one?
Straight DMP. Kind of a deep bench for Joe tonight. We saw 8 minutes of X-Men. We saw some Jordan Walsh. No Nimi tonight. Now, every game doesn't have to be a referendum on Nimi, but it's kind of becoming so that every game has to become a referendum on Nimi. And I'm not going to talk about Nimi tonight because I respect the country of Portugal. Always have, always will. Would love to go to Lisbon one day. Why not? Porto, that's another place in Portugal. Out of places that I know of. The Azores, those seem pretty cool. That being said, Nimi's main rival is Luke Cornett. And I thought Luke Cornett had a fantastic game tonight. He had 9 points, 10 boards, more blocks, more steals from Cornboy tonight. And it's weird. After the game, I think the other night, he was asked about, like, why, how'd you just go and get 6 blocks? Like, what have you done? Like, oh, yeah, I just, like, decided to try a little bit more and be a little bit more aggressive and more physical. And I was like, yeah, that's what you're doing. He had some nice dunks tonight. He had the there's the debate on the broadcast.
I caught that debate.
What do you think it was? Do you think it was or you just catch the debate? You didn't even get to see the highlight.
That's a good point. I didn't see the highlight. I just heard the debate. I
thought it was a classic, like James Harden, like chef, he's cooking. Apparently, some people think it was let the big dog eat, and he was spooning the metaphorical food into his mouth. I thought he was cooking. But can you cook on a offensive rebound putback? Or is that a hungry boy moment?
I feel like if you're a 7-foot big who doesn't dribble a lot, that's you cooking. You cooking is getting that board in an aggressive putback. Like that's you cooking.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs to cook or eat. Cooking oftentimes leads to eating. So it could have been both. It could have been Luke Cornett, and I'm sure he'll be asked about it after the game. It feels like a classic Abby Chin question of Luke. So we'll probably find out tomorrow or, probably in like 30 minutes. Just getting back to the game here, it's just such a luxury to be able to have this many talented players on the court when a guy like Jason Tatum is out. And I thought I'm not too concerned about giving up the big lead in the fourth quarter because, one, that just kind of happens in the NBA. But two, I thought the Pistons did some ridiculous shot making. They were 51% from three. Celtics only won the 3-point margin by 1. They made 21. Pistons made 20. I don't think you'd expect that every single night. I mentioned him before. 6 of 11, Malik Beasley off the bench from 3. And they got him. He was on the Milwaukee Bucks last year. And if I recall correctly, the Milwaukee Bucks could benefit from a guy who can knock down 6 of 11 threes. And I don't remember him being a real difference maker for the Bucks last year. But I looked him up. He was shot 42% from 3 last year. I think he signed with a minimum, or he has a $6 million contract with the Pistons. Feels like a pretty big loss for the Milwaukee Bucks. Why they wouldn't keep him on the team, I don't know. Maybe he didn't get along with Dame. Maybe he sided with someone in the Dame Doc beef. Who knows? But it felt like a pretty valuable player. And I was just impressed with him tonight. One of the interesting things about tonight's game was Cade Cunningham, because I thought he was very good late, just like very physical player, was really taking it to pretty much all of the Celtics defenders. Seems like he has a blood feud with Derek White, and he like wants to destroy Derek White at any chance he gets. He dunked on Derek White early in the game and kind of did the big shoulders. But he had a terrible first quarter where he just didn't come out and play that hard. And he kind of got benched for most of the second quarter, or got benched for like the last half of the first quarter, first half of the second quarter. That's a tongue twister. Not really a tongue twister, but kind of a mind bender. But I thought he came back and just had a really nice second half and kind of dictated pace and allowed the Pistons to get back in this game. Pistons are a scrappy team. They're not the worst team in the league. They're not the Washington Wizards. But last year, when they were going on the losing streak, Kyle Kuzma tweeted, "Oh, everyone just doesn't want to be that team." And then the Wizards went out and lost every single game in November, all 14. And so I do like a good comeuppance for Kyle Kuzma because I don't like that guy. Fox.
Yeah,
Kuzma
and honestly,
is,
who's better, Kyle Kuzma or Jason Tatum? I don't know, like because the potential on Kuzma.
if you line up all of their things when they were drafted, an objective person would probably like gone with Kyle Kuzma. But that's why they play the games. That's why they just you let the boys play. I mentioned it before, but Derek White, his 3-point shot making, I think we're going to talk about this after every game, but it was really the hustle plays he made at the end. Solid rebound off a free throw, which you don't really see happens, to get the Celtics another possession. Made another hustle play rebound. Payne Pritchard came up with some offensive boards. It was a real winning plays fourth quarter. Despite, I think, the Celtics giving up this big lead, it was never really in doubt. Drew Carter said the tension was building, and I really wanted him to say the tension was building in his plums. Because eastbound and down. Ashley Schaefer says that. But I think T Money said it in chat. He's like, at no point was I really concerned about this game. It was a weird stretch where the Pistons did go on this like 17-3 run, but the Celtics came back and just like did what they needed to do to win the game. And now they are 18-3. I would say that's pretty good. I'm not a takesman per se. But 18-4, sorry. Maybe that changes my opinion on things, but it was just a solid victory. It's exactly what they need to do. And now they got two pretty big games coming up, back-to-back. Milwaukee, who I think just won 7 in a row. I think they're losing or have lost to the Hawks tonight. And then potential return of Marcus Smart on Saturday night against a pretty solid Grizzlies team. And so I think in this stretch, 5 games in 7 nights, no Jason Tatum for tonight. It was just a solid victory for the Celtics.
Yeah. I know you already brought it up, but I'm gonna circle back to it because I thought it was sick and it was one of the first like cool plays that I took it down as a note. But just like Pritchard mid fourth, late fourth, I don't remember now. Like gets a sneaky rebound, dribbles it out to 3, pass, gets it right back, hits a 3, and just like you said it, like winning plays. Like that's winning plays stuff, man. Just like battling down there, and the fact that like the big rebounds late felt like they came from Pritchard and Derek White is just like that's what this team is doing, is like hustling. It also kind of felt like the two of them, on the broadcast they were saying like, oh, the Pistons are playing really hard, and like it's hard to compete with a team that's playing this hard, and I feel like it was Derek White and Peyton Pritchard being like, oh no, we can play hard. Like, let's just play hard also. Let's close this game out real quick by just working real hard for a couple minutes and then calling it.
Yeah, and I thought they played very solid. Derek White had 6 assists in the fourth quarter. And I think this is an interesting test because the numbers this year of when Jason Tatum's not on the court, the Celtics have been like pretty much a neutral team. I think they have like a round of a 0 net rating. And so I just thought it was like what I was looking for is like, okay, what are they going to go to generate offense here in the fourth quarter? And it was a little bit of everything. The ball was definitely in Derek White's hands, but the thing I liked the most was it felt like they were really just going to Porzingis. He had 6 shots in the fourth quarter. We haven't really seen him take over in a fourth quarter, but he had 8 points, got to the line twice, drawing fouls, was just a big guy 7 feet tall, many people are saying. So I thought it was just a solid, like, we don't have our normal kind of rotation. We don't have our normal kind of closer right now. What else can we do? What can we to figure out a way to win the basketball game? And it felt like it was Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis. And then, of course, big plays from Peyton Pritchard, who scored 12 points on 4 threes in the fourth. Solid victory all around.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You better. There's nothing. You have no option in the matter. If it's all right with you, Sean, I think I might get to the junk drawer. Now, this is kind of a deeper bag of a junk drawer. I think I took more notes on the junk than I did in the actual game. I've been trying to go back with different forms of like taking notes. Sometimes I take very meticulous notes and note every single lineup change. And then I feel like I go back and during the podcast, I don't look at any of those things. Or my notes will be like really solid shot or just like cool. And I don't really remember those things. So I was trying to focus on more junk related stuff this evening. And we're starting off with did Sam Hauser get more bald? Because it feels like he's more bald.
It does feel like he's more bald. Do you think becoming a dad has something to do with that? We should track Jay King's hairline over the course of this season and see if there's an impact, like a Sam Hauser level impact.
Oh man, I wish Jay King was balding. That would be fantastic. Unfortunately, he has very long hair.
He's got great hair.
He got a haircut to go to the White House, which was too bad because he would have let that go in forever. But Sam Hauser, dad, 2-point daddy, perhaps. Now I have in my notes Rod Holland is a great name. I'm skeptical. Is his name Rod Holland or Ron Holland? Looking at the box score, Ron Holland. Still a great name. Ron Holland. Works for me. I just have in my notes broadcast yelling at it says Walsh, but it meant Gary Washburn. They just make fun of Gary anytime the Celtics knock down a lot of threes, which I'm all for because that's just, I'm extremely intimidated by Gary Washburn. So for someone to publicly call him out on the airwaves, it makes me feel better about myself. So shout out to Scal and Drew. I really like the Scal and Drew chemistry that has been developed. It feels like Drew has cranked up the level of nonsense that exists. And Scal was a skeptical at first, but now he's playing along, and they could have a junk drawer for themselves. Cade Cunningham did dunk on Derek White. He flexed, but Derek White got him back with a block. So that was cool. I don't know if that's button worthy. So I'll go on to another confrontation. Jaylen Brown dunked on Isaiah Stewart and then did a throat slash, which he's for sure going to get fined for. There's like certain things the NBA is just like, you can't do that. In the NFL or the college football, you can't do gun celebrations. I think you can do guns in the NBA because there's more of an implied shooting motif there. But the throat slash is not allowed. But Isaiah Stewart's insane. And to dunk on Isaiah Stewart, someone who ran after and tried to fight LeBron James, and then to do a throat slash is boss skags. It's fantastic stuff. I really respect Jaylen for doing that.
I think I got like an ESPN notification about that. Like I think I was like sitting and I was like looked at my watch and I was like, it was like Jaylen Brown's scary dunk.
Yeah, it was a two-hand. You don't normally see a dunk on someone with two hands. That's a rarity, and I thought that was cool. We got a little beef stew, got him back by basically just like shoving him into the fourth row later in the game, just like on a free throw, which is what's beef stew's going to do. That guy's wild. But to two-hand dunk on him, to put him on a poster, Luke Cornett smoked a bunny. It was ugly. Drew Peterson played in the game, and of course, that's just going to make me say Peterson. But I tweeted that out with the video to Adam Peterson. I hope people went up and watched the I Love Basketball Adam Peterson video. But someone tweeted me back saying that they thought I was doing a Chapel Roan thing, and it kind of works.
Oh, it does work.
Peterson. Drew is my best friend. I need to work on the second line, but you could do it. There's something there.
I think I have to make that the new Junk Drawer song.
Nope. Sasser. Sasser is this rookie out of Houston who's just very good, high intensity. He stripped Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard had like 4 turnovers in the first quarter. Sasser just came in with all the juice. And you know what? 3 steals. He had 12 points, 5 of 7. You got to respect Sasser, and I like the name Sasser. So kudos to Sasser. Okay, so they have this segment. You've seen it. You've been to games. Sponsored by McDonald's. You have to build a hamburger in 40 seconds, but before you can put each slice of the hamburger on it, you have to make a layup. And it's just, there's nothing there. Lucky helps you with every single individual thing, with the patty, with the lettuce, with the cheese. And it just doesn't work, and people should get it every time. But this guy tonight couldn't do it. He just couldn't make a layup. And he failed the McDonald's hamburger stack challenge. And so it's one thing to have a very dumb gimmick, but it's another thing to fail that dumb gimmick. And I know it was Seats for Soldiers night. I'm sure he's a member of the armed forces, but I maintain he should have been kicked out of the game because no special treatment for anyone. Get rid of that segment and get rid of that guy. Kick him out of the stadium. That being said, he was wearing, so you were there on game 5 of the NBA Finals where the Celtics won the championship. Am I crazy town in thinking that was the only time they made and gave out the shirts that said whatever it takes on it? Because the guy who failed was wearing a whatever it takes shirt. I was like, oh, that guy was there. And I value that whatever it takes shirt. I actually think I've told myself, it's sitting right here. Whatever it takes. I've told myself I'm going to get this framed with my NBA Finals credential. But I think this, though, if you do own a whatever it takes Celtics shirt, I do think that's like a very special. That was the clinching night. That was the only time they had a whatever it takes shirt. And I don't know if you've ever watched the show Degrassi, The Next Generation, featuring Aubrey Graham, but the theme song to that also mentions the phrase whatever it takes. We got a biscuit in the basket reference tonight. Drink again. Did I already said that? Biscuit in the basket. Drink. Now, we were debating names in chat of what Sam Hauser could be called. 2 Point Daddy is obviously the first name, but with any good meme-based chat, it's going to go level after that. So we got some more suggestions, but I think T-Money won it by adding a little Espanol, calling it the Padre de Punta Dos. And now it's a little bit of a mouthful, but I like the multicultural feel of it. And Sam Hauser's bald.
It also fits in with the Tres Leches of it all, you know?
It does.
Like, lean into the Spanish. As much as I love your 3 Milks t-shirt idea, I think Tres Leches does kind of roll off the tongue a little easier.
Yes, but you know what doesn't roll off the tongue? Padre de Punta Dos, which makes it even better. Okay, so there is a guy who sits in the front row. Second game in a row, he's been mentioned on the broadcast. Malik Beasley made a ridiculous 3, turned around, started talking shit to him, and Scal and Drew were like, oh, he's talking shit to Pretty Ricky. Oh, talking to Pretty Ricky. Who the fuck is Pretty Ricky? Like, who is this guy? They didn't explain it at all. Well, you're going to, if you Google Pretty Ricky, I don't know. People with Internet 1.0 will remember the late night special video where 4 or 5 teenagers put on the song Late Night Special by Pretty Ricky and just absolutely humped an ottoman. Like, they were just taking turns humping an ottoman, showing people how well they could grind. And that's what I immediately think of when I think of Pretty Ricky. And I don't think this guy has anything to do with that Pretty Ricky. I think he's just an attractive man named Richard. And so we got to do a Still Poddable Investigates. Ooh, a very special episode of Still Poddable. Are you willing to go undercover next game and find out who Pretty Ricky is?
Yes,
most definitely. Yes. Shave your mustache and put on a false mustache?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, right. And then finally tonight, we had one of my favorite moments. It happened. This is the first time it's happened this season. Kristaps just going in the crowd for no reason and just smiling his ass off, just pumping them up. Man, that guy feeds off the energy. And I've officially dubbed him the new Smiles Magoo. I used to call Kemba Smiles Magoo, and maybe he's only Smiles Magoo when he goes into the crowd and has these kind of moments. But that guy, he doesn't even warm up with headphones on because he just like loves hearing the crowd chant his name. I just thought that's always fun stuff from Kristaps. No one has enjoyed just like the fun of playing basketball so clearly more than him. Every single time you see him on like Celtics social media, it's just like thrilled. He is so thrilled to walk into TD Garden every game, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, agreed. Now I'm just like waiting for you to press the button.
That's the dynamic we have to think on. Sometimes you're going to have a witty retort. Sometimes you're not. Maybe I'll cut you off. Maybe I'll press the button. Who knows? You know?
Yeah, you're just waiting.
You knew exactly what was up there. See, that was good. That was well played. That was making winning plays down the stretch, just like the Celtics did tonight, pulling out a 130-120 victory over the Detroit Pistons. No Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, 28 points. Kristaps, 26 points. Solid victory. And they are 18-4, moving on to 2 big games over the weekend. We appreciate everyone who's listening now or watching now on Twitter. If you want more Still Poddable, we are here for you every single day of the week, except for weekends. So some people would say Monday through Friday. Some people would say that's the typical work week. But we got a podcast for you 5 days a week. You go to patreon.com/stillpoddable. Subscribe today. You'll get access to all of these post-game podcasts from Jay King and B-Rob from what they saw after the game. We got weekly shows that come out on Mondays. Those are free. But we got a very fun chat. Chat's like stepping it up this season. I feel like
chat is maybe the biggest selling point to subscribe. You got to subscribe to be part of this chat. There's nothing like it.
Chat, I think, was like a little bit hesitant to start off like year one, but chat has stepped it up. We got memes now. We got inside jokes. Right now, I'm just looking through chat. We got dogs and cats. It's victory cats.
The victory pets, man. You gotta have those victory pets in the chat. I feel like it oscillates between victory dogs, victory cats. There's no place like the Still Poddable Patreon chat.
No, and there's no rules in chat. If you want to talk about something, chat will chat. Jay King, B-Rob, they'll randomly post things in chat. Most of the times, if you see a thing during a game, it's me posting. That's like my pre-junk notes. But it's a fantastic community. We really like building it and really like all the participation we get. And so if you want to be part of it, go to patreon.com/stillpoddable and join us here. We got, the Patriots are dog shit. The Red Sox are not going to sign Juan Soto. I'm sorry. The Bruins is hockey, and I don't care for that. But, if you like hockey, you can watch hockey. But eventually you're going to realize the Celtics are the best thing going, and you're going to want Twitter is dying. Blue Sky is unproven. But if you want a solid Celtics community, come to Still Poddable. Join us in chat. Join us on the podcast. Become a legend. You can even come on the podcast with us and give us your hottest takes. So, maybe that's just how I'll end shows when I don't know what to say. I'm just going to click this button and just be like, oh. Stats from B-Rob.
Still Poddable, Still Poddable. Boston, Still Poddable, Still Poddable. Oh, yeah.
Slow down from eating and drinking and all that wild stuff.